Welcome to Good Game Insights. That's the name of this channel where we review games, not on a scale of 1 to 10, but what makes a game good or bad. So, I just finished playing Before Your Eyes for the second time. Now before I get ahead of myself, this game doesn't really have that replayability. I actually restarted my session because I first played it a while back. It came to me the other day, the meaning behind the title of this game. Now, I know, it's really obvious, but for some reason it just went right over my head. Speaking of going right over my head, if you can give this video a thumbs up, that would be extremely helpful as it helps get this video out to more viewers. So thank you, and now we'll get back to the review of this game.
Alright? Every time you blink, you're going to jump forward in time. Could be a second, could be 5 years. That's just how this thing works. Now, the next time that you blink, I'm gonna send you back. Now, don't be afraid, and don't try to fight it.
So, it started to make sense to me when I actually figured out the meaning behind the title of this game. Now, this game was beautiful, and not only was it a beautiful game, it was also really unique. Before Your Eyes on the surface level is just a narrative-driven game. You don't really have many choices to make in that sense, so it's really just linear. You'll end up with the same outcomes, hence why I said this game doesn't really have that replayability factor. Where Before Your Eyes excels is actually tied to the name of the game. Before Your Eyes is a saying that means something that happens right in front of you and you have no way of changing the outcome. So you're probably wondering, how does this relate? Well, the unique thing about this game is that you control every moment by blinking. You don't know how far forward you'll go with every blink, hence the name Before Your Eyes. Your life will literally flash before your eyes with every blink. So now you're probably wondering, how the hell does this game track by blinking? Well, you can play it with a webcam and you don't have to worry, it won't keep any data as it's only meant to track your blinking. If you still don't feel comfortable with this, you can play this game through mouse clicks. However, keep in mind that it does take away from the immersion of the game. Story-wise, it's great. Now I don't sound too convincing there, but let me explain a little. With the story, I was able to experience multiple emotions. I felt some sort of connection and it really is just all around sad. After you get past the happy parts, if you can even call it that. Even though it was great, I still do have some complaints about it, where the story did feel a bit rushed, and I get why. In a game where if you blink you just time skip, it's really hard to fit in much, especially since it's extremely difficult not to blink. That's of course if you choose to play it this route. So, with the lack of story building, I couldn't quite grasp the connections made between me, the main character of course, and those around me. I honestly felt like they were just there in my life. They definitely felt important, but that's about it. Thinking about this now though, this may have been intended. Devs, if you end up watching this review, please let me know, because then I'm completely wrong and don't pay attention to what I just said a few seconds ago. However, like I mentioned, the story was great, and I have to really say that I did get caught by surprise at the ending. Won't give anything away, so you'll just have to play it to find out for yourself. So, with the story out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into the music. The music in this game was fantastic, and part of the story is that you're a pianist prodigy, so you really can't expect anything less in this department, otherwise it would have just been a shame.
Why, he's marvelous. How did you ever train such a young boy to play like that?
The music shifts between moments were really on point, and it's what really helped drive a lot of the emotion in certain areas. A lot of the immersion in the game was done so well. Every moment really doesn't display much information, but it was more than enough to make you feel like you were living in that moment yourself. Again, like I said, story-wise, it was great. I know I've been saying this a lot, but it honestly was great. The only issue there was just some of the connections I couldn't really make with the other characters. Now, I really have to jump back into this whole blinking aspect of the game. And my first time playing through this game, I opted for the mouse route. And in this route, it was still playable for the most part, and honestly, it really does take away a lot from this game. Like I said, it does take away a lot of the immersion because you're not actually blinking and everything isn't just going right before your eyes. The meaning of this game is lost, and plus, have you tried not blinking? It's really not the easiest thing to do in the world. So honestly, if you can, I highly recommend that you play this game with a webcam. Now, honestly, the best part was towards the end when a new kind of input was introduced. It was really just to close your eyes and take in your environment, listen to your surroundings, and just immerse yourself in that moment. Now, this was great, but to be honest, I did get a little confused when this part did happen. I wasn't sure what the icon was trying to tell me what to do, but nonetheless, it was still an impressive thing to add, and it really did help with the immersion of the game.
I mean, what's the point?
What do you mean? What's the point? What does that mean?
What's the point of any of it?
So, I know I mentioned this quite a bit through this review, but the one thing this game really did well was the immersion aspect of the game. Not only were you able to relive the moments of the main character through your own eyes, but you're able to experience some of their pain, their fears, and just what they went through. Anyways, I hate cutting off my thoughts, but I think I need to do so now before I end up giving up way too much. So, on a scale of good or bad, this game is good. It's great even. When you pick up this game, because you definitely should, I highly recommend you play this with your headphones on, no distractions, and just really immerse yourself into the story. So you definitely won't be able to truly experience this game twice. So I highly recommend that you soak it all up through your first playthrough. Thank you all for listening to my game review of Before Your Eyes. We really hope that you enjoy the game the same way that I have. Well, that's gonna be it for this game review, and see you all next time. Oh, before I forget, if you have a game that you recommend, please leave it in the comment down below. Definitely looking for more games to play.